Damage in PvP needs to change. Now, Venruki is probably going to be saying something that I have been saying for a long time. So I am ready for this. As I said, Vanilla WoW, Burning Crusade, Wrath, and Cataclysm, the numbers felt so fucking good. Like, whenever you did a Whirlwind, it felt like you were busting a nut on the screen. It felt so fucking good. It doesn't feel like that anymore, does it, boys? Yeah. Here we go. Oh my, whoa, hold up. We'll move it up a bit. So he's playing with a warrior, all right.
This is how WoW should feel, man. Not wet noodling around for 30 minutes trying to line up one-shots. I agree! I hate cooldowns, man. I hate cooldowns. If I could make one wish, if I had a genie and I could rub the lamp, I would ask them to make it so every class only has 1 or 2 offensive cooldowns, and they're very minor in WoW. That's what I would love. I think almost all the problems in modern day WoW stem from there just being no consistent damage. All right, so let me explain.
I think he's right. Volume is high. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. It's hard for me really to tell. Yeah, I think that's definitely true, because like what you have to remember with cooldowns is that cooldowns are multiplicative. So like whenever you're doing 20% more damage and you have 10% faster attack speed, you're actually doing more percent damage, and your percentage attack speed has more value. So they multiply against each other.
And you guys, why cooldowns are not fine in their current form, okay? Open up Notepad.
Okay, here we go.
So let's just take Frostbolt as an example.
Imagine Frostbolt. Okay.
So how much health do I have? So this is Wrath of the Lich King. All right, this is Wrath of the Lich King. This is how it works in Wrath of the Lich King. You Frostbolt. Let's say people have 10,000 health. Okay? Like in pre-patch, people have around like 10,000 health.
Yep.
My Frostbolt crits are like... My Frostbolt hits are like 1,500, and I crit for 3,000, roughly. Okay? So this is Frostbolt. This is Wrath of the Lich King. So casting a Frostbolt is going to end up doing between like 15 and 30% of someone's health.
Simple
if it's
math.
a crit or not a crit, okay?
Very simple.
And the modifiers on Frostbolt are like... What are the modifiers on Frostbolt? You have like a 15% modifier on Torment the Weak. Obviously, you have a crit. You can crit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty normal. What else do you have on Use Trinket? What are the other modifiers for... I think that's literally it. 15% Torment the Weak. If they're snared.
It's like random buffs.
But that doesn't give you... That's just crit, right? Icy Veins doesn't increase your damage. It just makes it faster. That's it. So this is Frostbolt and Wrath of the Lich King. That's it. Right here. This is how it works. You have 15%.
Yeah, it's not very complicated. There's not a lot going on with it. It's just very simple. You cast Frostbolt that does frost damage, and that's about it. Faster doesn't increase damage. He doesn't increase the damage of each hit, no. I'm back. Sorry. Clean hands.
Modifier and Torment the Weak. And you can crit. So, and that's the 3,000, right? So it regular hits for 1,500 and it can crit for 3,000.
Yeah,
whatever.
pretty simple.
You know what I mean? So it can crit, which is double damage. Oh, that's 1,500, 3,000, assuming they have no resil. That's literally it. So that's about, like I said, it does like 15% of someone's health to 30% of someone's health fairly consistently, unless they have a defensive cooldown up. Okay? And the only thing that really modifies it is Torment of the Weak. If they're snared, you get 15% more damage, which is not that much, and then an on-use trinket. Okay? This is Shadowlands. This is Shadowlands. Okay?
Here we go.
Shadowlands Frostbolt. People, how much health do people have now in Shadowlands? Oh, it's 12%. Okay, yeah, it's 12%. My bad. People have 110,000 health.
Here we go.
In Shadowlands. So 110,000 health. I don't know exactly what Frostbolt hits for right now, but I think it's like 4K. How much does a Frostbolt hit if you just cast a Frostbolt with no talents? What does it hit for? Oh, so, okay, yeah. So base Frostbolt in PvE hits for 2,100. Okay? So, Wrath of the Lich King, people have that, Frostbolt, You're gonna
2100.
laugh. So Frostbolt does 2200
Oh my
damage.
god.
Okay. So instead of hitting for 15 to 30% of their health, it hits
Wow.
for 2% of their health. Okay. Here are the modifiers on Frostbolt. Number 1, first modifier, let's say, is Incanter.
I love how he doesn't even know where to start. Like, he's thinking, he's like, okay, so should I start with conduits, talents, legendaries, trinket bonuses, set bonuses, legendaries, on proc weapon effects? Like, yeah.
What's the first one that we should do? We'll do Lonely Winter. Lonely Winter.
Yep.
25% bonus damage on Frostbolt.
That's whenever you don't have the elemental with you.
Rune of Power.
It's 20, right?
What is it? 40% bonus spell power.
Wow, I didn't know it was 40.
Bonus spell power.
I thought it was 20.
PvP modifier. 100% more damage. Right? Rune of Power. 30% bonus spell power.
Yeah.
You can go Ice Form. Another 30% bonus bolt damage. Bolt damage. Deep Shatter, which is 75% damage on bolt crits,
Yeah.
right, in PvP.
Uh-huh.
So you have, and then obviously you have an unused trinket. Unused trinket. Most people play. Yeah, let's just say. We'll do Necro. Okay, so Necro is what?
Oh, Necro's way more.
15%
Yeah.
bonus spell power, plus cleaves your frostbolts, and then
Yep.
you also get more spell power. Ramping.
Yeah, I think
spell
so.
power.
I don't
bonus.
remember.
Ramping spell power bonus. Oh, it's not even done yet. This is the funny thing. Ramping spell power bonus per bolt hit, 1% per. Okay.
Of
And we're
course.
not done. Next, we have Kevin, another 6%. Yeah, 6%.
Yep.
6% spell power.
But wait, there's more.
There's another one. Oh yeah, Slick Eyes. Slick Eyes. Yeah, Slick Eyes
I don't even know what
gets
that
up
is.
to 20% bonus bolt damage.
Oh my god.
Slash. We won't do cast time. But yeah. If I'm an orc, you have Blood Fury too. Unused trinket slash Blood Fury. I'll put that here. Blood Fury.
God.
So if you look,
And this is all, by the way, that none of this is taking into consideration like any sort of a set bonus, a weapon proc, a trinket usage, or anything like that. All it's talking about is just the basic effects of the character interacting with the spell. So it's not counting conduits, it's not counting anything else. Oh, the Slick Ice is legendary. Okay, yeah, I guess it is counting. I don't remember what that one was. There's even more than this.
this is why though. So you see how Frostbolt does no damage at all. The reason why Frostbolt does no damage at all is because
It's
of
a
these
builder.
modifiers, right?
Yeah.
You have a PvP modifier to make it do twice as much damage. You have Lonely Winter to make it do 25% more damage. You have Rune of Power, which gives you 30% bonus spell
Yeah.
power. You have Ice Form that gives you 30% bonus bolt damage. You have a 75% damage on bolt crits. Bonus damage. Bonus. That's not even, bonus damage. Is it bolt crits or is it just shatters? On shatters, I think. And then you have your unused trinket. You have Blood Fury. You can go Deathborn for 15% more spell power. It also gives you Kevin 7%
It's so complicated.
damage bonus. And then you have Slick Eyes, which gives you another 20% bonus bolt damage. And by the way, just as a spoiler to you guys, all of these things take your Frostbolt from doing 2200 damage to about, I think I've had like 33k Frostbolts.
Whoa!
33,000.
That's
Okay.
a lot, though, to be fair.
So all of those.
I mean, I would say that's about the same proportion in general compared to like what it was in Wrath. Like you have a 33k, but like that's also like with Necro. I feel like if you don't have the Necro Lord buff, like the fucking Skeleton Mage shit, there's no way you're critting a 33k Frostbolt.
If you have all of these modifiers, it goes from being 2% of your health, like 30,
Yeah.
like 30%, yeah, roughly. Yeah, 30%, yeah. So it goes from being 2% of your health to 30% of your health. So it takes all of this. Oh, and crit damage. We forgot crit modifier.
Yeah, crit damage modifiers.
1.75 damage, percent damage. So crits are actually a little bit worse. So it takes PvP modifier giving you double damage. It takes having Lonely Winter. It takes having Rune of Power. It takes having Ice Form. It takes having Deep Shatter. It takes using an unused Trinket of Blood Fury and having Deathborn up and having Kevin up and having Slick Eye stacked just to bring you to where Wrath of the Lich King is as a base. So that's what I mean when I say like consistent damage is just like, and just imagine a world where you here's the problem, right? Like let's say as a base you brought Frostbolt up to, let's say you doubled its damage and now it does 4,000 damage. Crazy.
Well, then it would be overpowered because it would double this up to like fucking 60,000. The problem is that there are too many multipliers that go into this and too many random variables that have to be balanced for. I think that's what the issue is. And I think that the big problem is that people like Venruki are able to keep up with it because he plays the game professionally. And he has played the game professionally for like 15 years. But like an average new player, I feel like somebody goes into like WoW PvP, they go into sensory overload, and they have to lay down for an hour. It is insane the amount of like nuances and complications the game has into it. It's ridiculous. And I don't think that it makes the game better. I actually think that it makes it worse. It makes it harder to approach. It makes it harder for, like average players to become good players. It makes it harder for good players to become great players. It just makes it harder for really no reason.
Which is still only 4%, which is a third as big as Wrath of the Lich King, okay? Let's say you doubled it. So you went from 2,200 to 4,400. All right, and then you had all this stuff again. That's going to make this do twice as much damage.
Yeah.
So obviously that can't happen. You can't be getting hit for 66,000 bolts. So this is like a very clear example of why the game cannot have good consistent damage. Is because there's 100 million modifiers. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 modifiers in the Shadowlands on Frostbolt versus Wrath of the Lich King. 3.
I think that's what makes Wrath and like Burning Crusade, but I think Wrath will become more the case because a lot of the like rough edges get rounded off in Wrath with PvP. Wrath PvP, I assume, and if I remember right, and like, this is from 13 years ago, so I could be a little bit wrong on this. I remember Wrath PvP being a lot better than it is now in Shadowlands. I remember Wrath PvP being really fucking good, and I liked it a lot. And like you could, like whenever you used Bladestorm, people would die. Like you didn't use Bladestorm as like a gap closer. You use Bladestorm as a game closer. It's like, hey bitch, you're Bladestormed on, you're fucking dead. It was great.
3. Okay. So it's definitely, it's not great. I think in general we should have a lot less modifiers.
I agree with that.
And if the modifiers are going to exist, they should be a lot smaller, so base damage can be a lot higher. So that's anyways, that's my analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's just the Frostbolt example. There's plenty of other examples I could bring up for that one, but I think in general, something that's been like a breath of fresh air for people has been the fact that there is consistent damage. When you press your abilities, they do something, and it feels good. Like you just press your buttons and it feels good. How's Dragonflight looking? Still lots of modifiers. It's fun to be able to kill someone without your 2-minute cooldowns. Yeah. I mean, what cooldowns do I even have on Warrior? Like, look at me on Warrior right now. Okay? On my Warrior, my modifiers are... I don't have modifiers. What do I have? I literally don't have any.
You have like a few. There are definitely a few, but there's a lot less than there are in Shadowlands. I think that definitely there are a few modifiers, and it's not just that simple, but it's way less than Shadowlands.
I have... My modifiers are... Recklessness, Impale, and crit damage.
I have Rage.
Recklessness. Recklessness is only 3 crits. That's all it is.
And Trauma.
So, yeah. Recklessness, by the way, in Wrath of the Lich King, is just you crit 3 times. That's it. And while you do it, you take 20% more damage. And then you have Blade Swarm on a 1.5 minute cooldown that
Yep.
can be disarmed. It's crazy how far we've come. And what about Warriors on retail? Avatar,
They got to get rid of that disarm on Blade Storm
Necro Banner,
change that.
Overpower modifier. Like, they have how many? They have so many cooldowns. You have Colossus Smash, slash Warbreaker.
Yeah.
Sharpen Blade.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't know. What do you guys prefer?
I feel like the game is way too complex in retail WoW. It's way too complex and it changes too often for anybody to keep up with it. There are too many variables, and I think that it is the worst. Like, for people like us that are, like, watching videos about Warcraft, right? Like, think about how invested into WoW you have to be watching a person watching another person making a video talking about the metagame between one current game and then the previous version from 12 years ago. Okay, you're already fucking an elite player. We are the 1% just by the fact that we're here. So imagine what other people think. They don't want to do this. Like, I remember my mom stopped doing PvP. She was like, it's just too much. There's too much going on. And she would QBGs and like fucking all kinds of stuff all the time, man. It's nuts. I just want to press my 4 buttons and 1 CD, not a 13 button rotation and 4 buttons I've got to keep on retail. Yeah, it's too much, man.
I greatly prefer the consistent damage version of the game.
Yeah,
and if I could make one change
game.
to WoW, it would be consistent damage coming back. And
Yeah.
that's not even me saying that Wrath is better than retail. That's one thing that's like one design philosophy that I think is way better and way more fun in general.
Agree with that. Well, you don't want to have, right? I mean, you don't want to have 2 cavemen with sticks and who has the bigger bonk. Right? Like, I mean, it's not really a good time, all right? Like, yeah, it's like you do that a few times and it's like, okay, got to figure it out now. But, like, there has to be a middle ground between fucking conduits, legendaries, soulbinds, legendaries, set bonuses, trinkets, weapon enchants, gem enchants, armor enchants, azurite armor, corruptions, essences, fucking like what am I missing out on? Oh right, other people's buffs that affect you in the other raid, right? Other people stuff, a cape enchant, yeah, everything like that. There's got to be a middle ground here, and it's like I think that Wrath is kind of that middle ground. Because Wrath is like 100% way more complex than BC or Classic. Like in terms of like the amount of things you have to do on your character. Like it's definitely way more complex. But I feel like things really went off the rails in Mists of Pandaria. I know this might be an unpopular opinion. I think the classes in Mists of Pandaria were way too overly complex. They were great for people like Zaryu. I remember watching Zaryu and Venruki 10 years ago in Mists of Pandaria, and they were gods. They were so fucking good, but the fact is that, like, you had so many buttons. That's why, dude, bro, that's why the Razor Naga got so popular, is because people ran out of keys on their keyboard. They had to buy a whole new mouse because they ran out of keys. Holy shit. They gotta fix it. They gotta fix it for Dragonflight. It's not too late. I just hope that the success of Wrath and everything, because like it's already massively successful, and I think that it will continue to be the case. I just hope that the success of the game will show Blizzard that. I think that it already kind of has to an extent, but I hope that continues. Man, Mop was godlike. What? But like, don't you guys understand that like godlike for you? Like, Mop was amazing for me. Dude, I was top achievements on my server. I was top item level on my server. I had the most mounts on my server. I had the most pets on my server. I had the most, I had the best parses on my server. I was the god of Mists of Pandaria. But I played the game all day, every single day. You have to be able to see it beyond yourself. Yes, this is fun for you. This is great for you. But the reality is that there's a lot of casual players that come in and they just get finessed on and styled on. It's like Fortnite. I think Fortnite's a great parallel to this, right? Like, why did Fortnite start dying? Well, because people, they're playing Fortnite for fun. They go up against, you know, little Timmy fucking all hopped up on Mountain Dew, and he's just going wild. Right, he's building a fucking Eiffel Tower, the Taj Mahal. And he builds the Eiffel Tower into the Taj Mahal, into the fucking Empire State Building, and then after all that, he builds a Sphinx and he shoots you in the fucking head. What the fuck is going on? And people are so far beyond this, like they're so far beyond, the skill gap is so big that casual players are just like, well, fuck, I can't even begin to try. I can't even begin to do this. Yeah, he kills a five-man team. That's what happens. Classic Timmy. Yeah, he's doing his engineering fucking PhD on Fortnite. It's nuts. I just hope they fix it. That's about it. Yep, I hope they fix it. Would you give a take on Modern Warfare 2? I cannot wait to play Modern Warfare 2. I'm so excited to play Modern Warfare 2. I'm going to pop off on Modern Warfare 2. But I really hope they... Does anybody know that they have the trucks? Because like, if they don't have trucks, like I mean, you know, it's kind of like a, you know, it's not really a thing, right? They got that, the 100% of trucks. Oh yeah, all right, yeah, we good then, we good. Oh man, I really hope they fix it. Oh, I didn't link the video. You guys should watch Venruki. Venruki has been a goat. He was a vengeful gladiator. Okay, this guy knows his shit. He's been playing WoW like long. He's been rank 1 in WoW longer than most people have been playing it.